I've surfed stand-up sessions with Tom, you know, quite a few good ones already, you know, from a few years ago, you know, but the most memorable ones, I can think of maybe 3 of them that were just 3 different days that were just unreal waves. But the one that probably stands out the most was on a north swell, and usually what happens once the winter kind of sets up for Hawaii, you get the west-northwest swells and northwest, north-northwest, and they kind of just work their way across from Japan and pass by Hawaii and head towards the west coast. And this storm kind of set up straight due north, and it was kind of far away, but it was doing its thing for a few days, so you know the waves were kind of spaced apart nicely. We had some good periods.
So my favorite sessions on the stand-up so far, I had one sick one with Blane
But anyway, we were kind of watching it, and I know this one spot that just likes that. It really likes a north swell, and you know, so Tom and I talked about it the night before, and the next morning, you know, when this thing is supposed to hit, I got there really early, and it was just raining and raining kind of hard, and the wind was straight offshore, but it was just, you couldn't really see it because it was dark and just gloomy, but I could hear it, so I just said, you know what, I'm just going to paddle out. So I paddled out at this one place, and you got to work your way down the coast to get to this wave, and when I got there, it was just kind of where you could see it in the rain and the mist, and it was like just coming in walls, just perfect, just peeling from one side. It kind of reminded me of how I imagine Jeffreys Bay looks, you know, where it's just wall all the way across and just peeling on one side, and I just hooked into wave, you know, just such a perfect one. It just, oh, it was so good. And then I got another one, and then just as it was getting more light, I could see Tom was paddling over, and I knew it was him because, you know, we talked about it the night before.
And it was a crazy rainy morning, and it was, you know, Blane said, yeah, you know, I could just see him in the distance way up. I paddled out, and there was this just rainy, grey, and the swell was coming up from the north, real super north direction. And there's just see this guy in the distance just riding this perfect ride, just so walled out and so beautiful. And that was Blane.
And he knew about that spot, and when he got over there, I just remember telling him, bruh, you are gonna be so stoked. It's so good, you know. And we ended up surfing by ourselves, just in the rain, just perfect, just peeling, just wave after wave, scoring, and kind of just giggling and laughing about it, like, how can it be this good, and we're in Hawaii and all the pros are here, and it's like no one's out, just us, which is how we like it.
So I just caught up with him, and we had it to ourselves for ages that morning. I didn't have a leash on, unfortunately, but I learned how to, I mean, I was toasted after that surf. But
yeah, that day was really good, and he didn't have a leash, so he had to really kind of watch himself when he hits towards the end of the wave, and if he lost his board, you know, he had to swim. So it just meant I caught probably a little more waves than he did, but that's okay, you know, it was cool with me. But anyway, yeah, that was of all the memorable ones, that one stands out over all the others, just because it was he and I. It was perfect. I mean, it was, you know, a very rare spot. It doesn't get that place very often, so yeah, that one stands out.
We just went wave for wave for ages. That was a beautiful morning. It was really special. It was just it was just raining, dumping rain, no one out, and just me and him, and that was a great experience.